And streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A Victoria resident concerned about the street where he lives. When does the city plan to make repairs? And a local cafe shares their goal for Thanksgiving, and it's not just about the food. Plus, how you can help give children a voice in their time of need.
And if you thought this week was warm, get a load of what's coming our way this weekend. We're looking for near record-breaking heat, y'all. And if that's not for you, we still have a cool front coming next week, bringing us some solid rain chances. All that in the weather coming up.
Last night we started up the first round of the high school football playoffs. We'll preview how Yorktown Wildcats did with the Agua Dulce Longhorns later on.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Friday. And even though you may be stepping out of that door full of excitement, you may want to be cautious on the roadway this morning.
Yes, please be safe this morning. We have a little bit of fog that is being reported around all across the Crossroads this morning. In fact, if you're tuning in with us this morning, you can see right there on your screen all the fog that we're talking about. This camera is in southeastern Victoria. We're looking out southeast towards Lone Tree Road and also Loop 463. This is out by the Emerging Technology Complex, out there in, like I said, southeastern Victoria city limits. But you can see, looking southeast, where the grass is a little bit further away from the city, where there's more water transpiration happening because there's less metal. You've got more fog forming out there. So y'all stay safe. All that happening because our temperature is dropped down to the dew point, 59, bringing us 100% humidity. And that's exactly why we have fog this morning. You can see it's patchy in nature all around the Crossroads this morning, not just in Victoria. So y'all stay safe, pretty please. If you're going to be hitting the roads this morning, make sure to maintain a safe driving distance between you and the car in front of you, and also slow down a little bit and use your low beam headlights, not your brights, because they make it a little bit difficult actually. But temperatures, you can see we're all still slowly falling down to that dew point underneath our clear skies. That's why we're cooling down, because of radiational cooling. But the clear skies you can see right here, the only thing that means is it's going to be another sunny day. So if you're sending your kiddos out the door this morning, pack them those sunglasses. It'll of course be warm. We have those details next.
For years, residents on Julia Street in Victoria have been worried about the condition of the road. Local resident Lupe Gutierrez, a homeowner on Julia Street, says he would like to see the road repaired. He says Julia Street has been deteriorating since the early 2000s. The city of Victoria says all of Julia Street is scheduled for maintenance in 2028.
If an accident or an emergency happens out here, there's only one way in, and if a fire truck or an ambulance is here, just trying to get in and out, it's pretty hazardous. You're real close trying to get out of here.
You seal and restore with a mix of different materials to extend the life of the road and make it more durable. Victoria County Judge Ben Zeller is running for re-election. Zeller says he's proud of what the county's accomplished under his leadership, from cutting taxes and raising first responder pay to supporting veterans and improving local services. Zeller says there's always more to do, and he wants to keep county government efficient, transparent, and fiscally responsible. Seadrift officials are waiting to hear back from the TCEQ before lifting the city's boil water notice. It went into effect Wednesday. Crews shut off water to fix a broken main near Orange Street. Samples were taken Thursday to ensure everything is safe to drink. At least 4 people killed and 24 others wounded following a Russian attack on Kyiv. Among the wounded are a 10-year-old child and a pregnant woman in Ukraine's capital city. More than 15 buildings were damaged, including residences and a medical facility. Authorities warn as the attacks continue, there may be interruptions to water and electricity. Residents are told to stay in shelters. The bill President Trump signed to reopen the government is now under new scrutiny. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the latest concerns that it could devastate a $28 billion industry.
This morning, new backlash to the spending bill that reopened the federal government. The bill is now set to shut down a key part of the booming hemp industry.
This is the problem with our government. I mean, this is ridiculous.
A last-minute provision to the bill closes a loophole that allowed manufacturers to convert hemp into high-potency THC products through chemical processing, sold with almost no federal oversight. The new provision will cap hemp products at just 0.4 milligrams of THC per serving, a fraction of what's nearly in all products on the market today. Senator Mitch McConnell has been leading the charge to close the loophole.
Products more potent then marijuana can be bought off the shelf of a gas station.
More than 8,400 children were treated in U.S. emergency rooms for cannabis poisonings between 2018 and 2023, but some lawmakers have joined those in the hemp industry pushing for regulation, not prohibition.
We've been fighting for actual regulation since day one at Delta.
Industry leaders say the economic impact could be massive.
There's $28 billion in money that flows through the industry, and over 300,000 people that are directly related to employment.
With younger customers drinking less alcohol, some breweries turn to THC beverages to keep their businesses afloat.
We would be gutted. It would be devastating to just put a prohibition on it.
Victor Okendo, ABC News, New York.
Back online quickly post-shutdown. Others face impediments. SNAP benefits should go out by Monday at the latest, and officials say certain federal employees should start getting back pay today, but some agencies warn it could take another week to make their staffs whole. For now, air travel restrictions remain in place while the Smithsonian reopens and national parks deal with vandalism and fewer staff. A Victoria restaurant is back for another year of serving up Thanksgiving meals to the community. This year, they're partnering with the local church. The Waterwell Cafe will serve plates full of turkey, dressing, sides, and dessert at Riverside Church. Everyone is invited to the church to share a meal and fellowship together. Cafe owner Jennifer King says it's not just about filling stomachs, it's about filling others with love and hope during the holidays.
Thanksgiving is pretty important to us. We want to be able to give families a gathering, a place to go and fellowship, a place to have sensibility and to have like a family, basically. We want families to be together for Thanksgiving.
King, the Waterwell Cafe, and Riverside Church will serve meals from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Golden Crescent CASA is looking for help. They say more local children need a champion in their corner during tough or dangerous home situations. CASA court-appointed special advocates provides one-on-one support to children in foster care or struggling with family challenges. Trained volunteers work with professional staff, families, and caseworkers to offer guidance, stability, and a voice for children.
Or the rewarding side of it is helping children and families heal while they're in this process, helping children go home when possible, making sure that it's going to be safe and stable when they do so. That is the rewarding part of it. So at the end of the process, when a CASA volunteer helps that child find their final placement, we want to make sure that they are happy and healthy and in an environment where they will thrive for the future.
Golden Crescent CASA is looking for about 40 new volunteers to meet the growing need in our area. The only real qualification is having a loving, caring heart for children who need support. If you're interested in becoming a CASA volunteer, contact them at 361-573-3734. For more local news, weather, and sports, come to crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:39 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A woman's living situation has caught the attention of the community. Learn what's being done to help.
New fallout from the Epstein files and the move in Congress to force a vote and make all the files public. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details this morning.
And also coming up next after the break, in the short-term forecast, you heard me say, of course, it's going to be a warm day today. So coming up next, I'll tell you how warm it'll be near you, and we'll look at your football forecast.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria ISD, the Calhoun County Humane Society, the Salvation Army, and Theater Victoria.
It's a farce, so it's a very physical play. There's lots of slapstick, almost slapstick. There's lots of, there's 5 doors, so people are going in and out of doors like crazy. Lots of mistaken identity, lots of fun.
Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Friday. It's weekend time, y'all. Get excited because the weekend is here, and coming away this weekend It doesn't gonna feel. It's not gonna feel like November, y'all. I'm sure y'all already know that. But we also got lots of football coming our way this weekend, so y'all get excited and get out to all those games. But for today in Victoria, like I said, it's gonna be a bit of a warm one. Won't feel like November. I'm thinking a high of 86 today. That's gonna be this afternoon. That's also 12 degrees above where we're supposed to be this time of year. A climatological high on November 14th at 74. And our low temperature tonight, I'm thinking 60 under the pretty clear skies. That's also 8 degrees above where we're supposed to be. Wow. You can see everyone else today going to be looking about the same. Highs in the mid 80s, maybe upper 80s in our western counties. And low temperatures tonight under the pretty clear skies will drop down to the low 60s. Some of us getting only into the upper 60s. We're talking about y'all folks on the coast, because you're right next to the warm Gulf water. And today, or tomorrow rather, if you didn't think today was warm enough, well, we'll be warmer tomorrow with highs about 1 or 2 degrees warmer than today, getting to the upper 80s for most of us. But I know what you're all thinking. It's weekend time. That seems like somewhat decent weather, especially for the evening time. Don't be getting out there to grilling unless you have a pellet grill, because you can see we still have 11 out of 13 Crossroads counties under burn bans. So let's not do any kind of burning until the rain gets here next week. And we'll look at that here in a little bit, because today it's Friday, time for football. Football game of the week is going to be Victoria West Warriors and Corpus versus the Miller Buccaneers. And it's going to be a lovely game. So y'all get out there and enjoy that. And like I said, try and enjoy the weather. I know it's going to be warm out there until the rain and the front get here next week. And we'll look at that next.
Last night we had a battle between the Agua Dulce Longhorns and the Yorktown Wildcats for the first round of the high school playoffs, and both teams head in at 7-3 overall. And again, what a start though for Agua Dulce as they get a nice run for number 21 Aiden Martinez, get him inside the 5-yard line. Right afterwards, they get a touchdown, just give him the ball right back, and he scores in there 4-6. And they get a 2-point conversion afterwards, making the score 20-12. This was a high-scoring game to start off here between both of these teams, because Yorktown, after that series, they would not back down, because literally the next drive, quarterback Brody Menning, who just does everything almost there for the Yorktown Wildcats, gets a big time run, gets some inside plus territory. How about this? Almost breaks this tackle to get himself maybe in for 6, but then right afterwards, how about Menning though? He decides to use his arm this time, finds number 2 Braden Knotzman for the touchdown. And again, Yorktown would again get this game at this moment there 28-20, and they would not look back. They only allowed 14 points afterwards versus Agua Dulce, and they won 58-34. And Yorktown will now face the winner later on tonight between the D'Hanis Cowboys or the Granger Lions. That's going to be starting at 7 p.m. and whoever wins that game will face them in the second round. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Now to the latest on the Jeffrey Epstein files and the growing pressure to make all the emails public. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington as the House speeds toward a vote next week.
This morning, the House is poised to move forward on a vote that would release files related to the sex trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. It comes after months of resistance from Republican leaders and the White House. President Trump not responding to ABC's questions about the files during an event last night.
Mr. President, why won't you order the FBI to release the Epstein files?
It comes as thousands of newly released documents were made public by the House Oversight Committee, which includes Trump's name coming up repeatedly in Epstein's messages. In a 2017 email to former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, Epstein writing, quote, "I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump, not one decent cell in his body, so yes, dangerous." In a 2018 text to an unidentified person, Epstein writes, quote, "I am the one person who can take him down." Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade. Trump, who has denied any wrongdoing, says he broke off the friendship when he learned Epstein and his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, were luring away women and teenage girls who worked at Mar-a-Lago. In a 2019 email to author Michael Wolff, Epstein writes, "Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop." Now, 218 lawmakers, including 4 Republicans, have signed a petition that will force a full House vote to demand the release of the Epstein files. The newest member of Congress becoming the final signature.
The timing of the 23,000 emails that were also released right around this time really put an exclamation mark on the need to have this transparency and for all of the files to be out in public.
The White House insists the emails prove the president did nothing wrong. Speaker Mike Johnson now plans to bring the bill to a full House vote next week. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
An 83-year-old Victoria woman has been living in dangerous conditions for years. Now her community is stepping in to change that. Lucy's home has fallen into serious disrepair with holes in the walls, structural damage, and no working heating or cooling. She says the house holds memories of her late husband and she never wants to leave it. But the conditions leave her chilled in the winter and overheated in the summer. When Frank Salazar learned about what she was living in, he got to work immediately.
If this was my family member, I couldn't let this happen. I would do exactly what I'm doing if this is someone that is my family.
Even with all the progress, Salazar says they still need more hands to get the job done. It's thanks to those volunteers, Lucy is one step closer to having a safe and comfortable place to call home. If you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen or contact us by emailing us at staff@crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:47 on our Friday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, prices on some everyday items could be shifting soon. What's driving the change? All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Bobby. Happy birthday to our baby boy. We love you and we'll always be proud of everything you accomplished. We love you. That's from Dad, Mom, and Jackie.
Happy birthday, Bobby. And also happy birthday to Jaden. Happy birthday to our proud Marine. Thank you for your service. 19 years of courage, honor, and heart. Even though you're miles away, you are with us every single day. And our thoughts, our prayers, and the pride we carry for you with all our love. Mom, Dad, Arabella, Philip, and Barkley, your biggest and #1 fans.
Thank you for your service, Jaden.
Yes.
And happy birthday to Charlotte. Happy birthday, Charlotte. Love from Mom and Hudson.
Oh, happy birthday, Charlotte. And also happy birthday to Nicholas. Happiest of birthday wishes to the best husband, dad, and popo we could have ever needed. We love you, Nicholas, and we hope you have a fabulous day.
Happy anniversary to David and Gloria. Happy 50th wedding anniversary. Love from Mingo, Adela, and the rest of the family. May God bless you with many more wonderful years. And Gloria is also celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Gloria. We all love you very much.
Wow, well, happy birthday and happy anniversary. And to see your birthday wish live or anniversary wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, it is 6:49 on our Friday morning. Happy birthday to Heath and, let's see, Heath, Shayna, and I believe it was Adam earlier.
She had a few of them in
Aaron
there.
earlier.
That's right, happy
And
birthday,
happy
y'all.
birthday to you if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you probably saw what I was talking about, how it's going to be a bit warm over the next several days. But something I want to point out to y'all before we move on to the rain. Talk about that. Well, I want to talk about that. But before we get to that, you see Saturday and Monday. These 2 days, we're going to be near record high temperatures. The record high temperature on the 15th and the 17th of November is 88 and 90. You can see both days we're going to be 1 degree off from that. So y'all stay safe in the heat. That is definitely not going to feel like November up until we finally get our next front. That'll be here, I'm thinking Thursday night, and it'll bring with it some decent rain chances with 30 and 50%. Encompassing most of the area. And if you're wondering where the rain and the front's coming from, it's coming from not one but 2 separate low pressure systems coming out of the Pacific. Here's low number 1. You can see this one's going to take a little bit more of a northerly track up and towards the Dakotas, South Dakota and North Dakota, what I'm trying to say. But that's okay, because it's going to drag the second low a little bit further south and also eastward, riding right over the Rocky Mountains, coming off the mountains on Thursday, and that's exactly why it's going to send us a front and some decent rain chances for Thursday and a little bit Wednesday as well. And if that's not enough, we have another system coming in right behind that looks to cause a near repeat situation. But like I said, with the front coming away next week, it's going to be bringing us some decent rain chances, and I think it'll be here Thursday night and Friday morning, not the afternoon. And we'll look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
Prices on things like bananas, cocoa, and coffee could be headed down soon. That's what the White House is expecting after announcing some framework trade deals. It could also include rolling back some of the president's tariffs on imports from places like Argentina, Ecuador, and Guatemala. New data released Thursday shows foreclosure filings climbed in October. The numbers are still small. However, the rise may be a sign of cracks in the housing market. In October, there were over 36,000 U.S. properties with some type of foreclosure filing. Foreclosure starts, which are the initial phase of the process, rose 6% and were 20% higher than the year before. Completed foreclosures, the final phase, jumped 32% year over year. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. New research reveals a surprising health risk linked to what many people eat every day. Find out what it is. A new study shows women eating ultra-processed foods could be putting themselves at higher risk of cancer. The study shows a link between the foods and development of precancerous colorectal growths in women under 50. Those growths can later turn into cancer. Diets high in sugar and artificial sweeteners were most linked to higher rates of adenomas. It was followed by diets high in sauces, spreads, and condiments. The Salvation Army of Victoria is kicking off its earliest Red Kettle campaign ever. Bell ringers will begin Monday at 4 locations across Victoria. This will mark the longest campaign in Victoria's history, running through Christmas Eve. This year, the Salvation Army aims to raise $75,000, building on last year's community contribution of $43,000. The DeWitt County Commissioners extended the outdoor burn ban because of the ongoing dry conditions and fire risk. The burn ban will be in place through February 21st unless conditions improve. For now, that means no outdoor burning of brush or other material. Let's Grow Texas Ag is airing its 18th episode on KBCT. On Monday, it'll air at 9:35 p.m. and on Sunday, November 30th, it'll air at 5:30. In this episode, Joe Adams is at Goliad State Park taking a look at the history of the Texas cattle trails. And now let's get a look at our weather with Parker. Parker, do we need to be cautious somewhat this morning?
Yes, we do, Carolina, because this morning I'm going to step out of the way and you're going to see a little bit of fog on your screen. You can see it if you look really closely and way out in the distance. You see that right there, the top right there, that's a tree. We're talking about a mile and a half away, and you can see that's pretty much obscured from about maybe 50 feet below that. But everybody, if you're going to be traveling this morning, stay safe. We have a little bit of fog. It's patchy in nature all around the crossroads this morning because our temperatures are still slowly cooling before the sun really comes up down to that dew point 57, bringing us 100% humidity. And like I said, it's patchy around the crossroads, not just in Victoria. So y'all please stay safe if you're going to be traveling to Houston, San Antonio, or even down to the coast. But I promise that fog will burn off over the next about an hour or so. With the sun coming up, it's going to be a beaming sunny one today, y'all, so grab your sunglasses. High of 84 in Port Lavaca today, a bit warmer in Victoria, I'm thinking 86, and also a bit warmer in Cuero, I'm thinking 87 today. So, and if that's not warm enough, like I said, this weekend we'll be looking for near record highs before next week rain and a cool front are finally back in the forecast.
Thank you for being with us this morning. Join Shauna Dawn, Maclovio, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great Friday.